I should have known the night I heard her laugh. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, but it didn't belong in my living room. I was in the kitchen, rinsing a wine glass, when I heard it. That familiar tilt of the head, carefree, slightly breathless laugh that had followed me my entire life. My sister's laugh, coming from my husband's side of the house, and something inside me went very, very quiet. Not angry, not heartbroken, just alert. My name is Ava. 6 months ago, I was married. 3 months ago, my sister married my ex-husband. And today, I'm the only one in my family who isn't pretending that what happened was fate. Ethan and I had been married for 4 years, not perfect years, but solid ones. We built routines: Sunday morning coffee, Wednesday night takeout, late night arguments about nothing that always ended in apologies. He wasn't cruel, he wasn't distant, he was comfortable, and comfort can be dangerous. My sister Lily had always been magnetic. You know the type, the one who walks into a room and doesn't try to be noticed. She just is. Growing up, people would say we were opposites. I was measured. She was spontaneous. I thought before I spoke. She spoke and let the world adjust, but we were close. At least I thought we were. She started coming over more often, around the end of my marriage. At first it felt normal. Wine nights, movie marathons, cooking together. Ethan joked once, I married the calm one, but sometimes I wonder if I should have gone for the chaos. He laughed after he said it. Lily laughed too. I smiled, but that comment didn't sit right. Because jokes usually hide rehearsal, the emotional shift didn't happen overnight, it was subtle. Ethan started staying up later, phone angled slightly away from me, more gym sessions, more work stress. I asked him once if something was wrong. He said, "You're imagining things." And I wanted to believe him, because the alternative was uglier. The night everything officially broke wasn't explosive. It was quiet. He asked me to sit down at the dining table. No raised voice, no accusations, just this: "I think I'm in love with someone else." It felt like the air changed density. I asked who. He didn't answer, but he didn't have to, because Lily had canceled our brunch plans that morning, and she hadn't responded to my messages since. There's a moment when your brain refuses to assemble the pieces. It's self-defense. Mine lasted about 12 seconds. Then everything aligned: the late nights, the private jokes, the eye contact, the laugh. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just said, "How long?" He hesitated, and that hesitation told me it wasn't new. The divorce was quick, almost efficient, no custody battles, no shared business, just paperwork and silence. My family called it complicated. My mother asked me to see both sides, as if betrayal is a coin you can flip for fairness. 2 weeks after the divorce was finalized, Lily posted a picture, her hand in his. Caption, "Sometimes love finds you twice." I remember staring at that sentence for a long time. Love didn't find her, she found my husband, and he let her. The comments were worse than the photo. "Finally, you two make so much sense. Should have happened sooner." I muted the app. Then I muted my family. But what I didn't mute was my intuition. They moved quickly. Engagement in 3 months, small ceremony, selective guest list. I wasn't invited. That part didn't hurt as much as I expected. What hurt was my mother's voice when she said, "It's time to move on, Ava," as if grief had a schedule, as if betrayal had an expiration date. Ryan was there at the wedding, Ethan's best friend. They'd known each other since college. Inseparable. If Ethan was steady, Ryan was sharp. Observant. Too observant. At the reception photos that I shouldn't have looked at, Ryan stood unusually close to Lily. Not inappropriate, just familiar. Comfortable in a way that didn't look new. I told myself I was projecting, because once someone betrays you, everyone starts to look suspicious. The pregnancy announcement came 6 months into their marriage. It was dramatic. Pink smoke cannons. Family dinner reveal. Tears everywhere. Ethan posted, "Best day of my life." I stared at the date. Then I checked his tagged photos. Then his travel calendar. Then Lily's stories from 2 months prior. Something didn't align. Ethan had been on a business trip the weekend. The math suggested conception. Out of state. Conference photos confirmed it. And yet Lily had been unusually quiet online that same weekend. No posts, no check-ins, which was strange for someone who documented everything. I told myself I was being obsessive. But then something else happened. Ryan stopped appearing in photos, stopped commenting, stopped attending family dinners, disappeared quietly. That's when suspicion stopped being emotional and started being logical. 3 weeks later, I received a message from a private account. No profile picture, No posts, just one sentence. You're not crazy. Check the timeline. My heart didn't race. It settled, because confirmation is calming. I didn't respond. Instead, I did what I've always done best. I observed. I went back through old memories, dinner conversations, glances exchanged across tables. The way Ryan once defended Lily in an argument that had nothing to do with him. The way she'd touched his arm absent-mindedly once. Small things, but small things compound. Here's what people misunderstand about betrayal. It rarely starts with passion. It starts with proximity, shared secrets, shared complaints, shared understanding. And if Lily and Ryan had been sharing something behind Ethan's back, the irony would be almost poetic. She betrayed me for him, and maybe she betrayed him too. But I didn't have proof. Not yet. Only patterns, and patterns don't scream. They whisper. 2 weeks later, Lily called me, first time since the divorce. Her voice was overly sweet. I think it would mean a lot if you came to the baby shower. I almost laughed. Why? For closure, she said. Closure. Like this was a chapter in a book, not a fracture in a family. I agreed to go. Not for her, not for him, for the truth. Because something inside me was certain. This story wasn't over, and when it ended, it wouldn't end quietly. The first time I saw the DNA report, I thought it was a mistake. Not because I doubted the science, but because I couldn't believe karma worked that fast. 3 days after the baby shower disaster, my phone wouldn't stop vibrating. Missed calls, texts, voicemails. Half of them were from my sister. The other half were from people who used to call me dramatic. Now they wanted my side. Funny how silence makes you invisible, but scandal makes you interesting. I didn't answer anyone, except one person. Him, Liam, my ex-husband's best friend, the man who walked out the second that envelope was opened. He didn't text much, just 5 words. We need to talk, urgent. I didn't reply, because I already knew, but I wanted him to panic a little longer. You need to understand something. When my sister married my ex-husband 6 months after our divorce, I wasn't heartbroken. I was confused. Because while everyone thought I was the naive wife who got cheated on, I knew something they didn't. Liam had been around a lot during the last year of my marriage. Too much. He would come over when my ex wasn't home, claiming he was dropping something off. Once I walked into my own kitchen and saw my sister standing too close to him, laughing, touching his arm, and the way he looked at her, not like a brother, not like a friend, like a secret. When I told my husband back then, he laughed. Stop being paranoid. Paranoid, that word followed me through the divorce, through the wedding, through the pregnancy announcement, until the baby shower, until the envelope. The thing about DNA tests is they don't just expose fathers, they expose lies. And this lie was bigger than cheating, because the timeline didn't make sense. The baby wasn't premature, which meant conception happened before the wedding, which meant while I was still legally married to him. Liam finally showed up at my apartment, unannounced, unshaven, unstable. He didn't sit down, he paced. Did you know? He asked. I didn't answer immediately. That silence made him sweat. I suspected, I said calmly. His jaw tightened. She told me it was yours, he muttered. Mine? The audacity. She told you I was pregnant with your child? I asked. He blinked. No, I mean she told me the baby was your ex's. There it was. She swore it could never be mine, he continued. She said the timing was impossible. I leaned back. And you believed her? His silence answered. Men don't like math when it exposes them. Here's the part no one knew. 3 months before my divorce was finalized, my sister moved into our guest room temporarily. She said she needed space. She said she needed support. What she needed was access. I used to work late back then, double shifts, trying to fix a marriage that was already broken. Trying to pay bills my husband kept increasing with investments that never made sense. Meanwhile, my sister was home, with 2 men who trusted each other more than they trusted me. You can't tell anyone, Liam said suddenly. There it was, fear, not guilt, fear. You think I'm the villain here? I asked. He looked up sharply. You don't understand. If this gets out. If, I interrupted. It already got out. He ran a hand through his hair. My parents will disown me. His family will destroy me. She's saying the test is fake. I laughed, because of course she was. Gaslighting is a family trait. She's saying you forced her? I asked. His eyes widened. No. Pause. Not yet. There it was again. Fear. Because he knew her, and he knew what she was capable of when cornered. That night, something clicked. This wasn't just about cheating. This was about survival. My sister had secured a wealthy marriage, a powerful family, and now the baby wasn't genetically tied to them. Do you know what that means? Inheritance, reputation, control. And suddenly, I wasn't the discarded ex-wife anymore. I was leverage. 2 days later, my ex-husband called me for the first time since the divorce. His voice wasn't angry. It was cracked. Did you know? He asked. That question again. Yes, I said. Silence. How? He whispered. Because here's the thing. Men like him don't ask how you're doing. They ask how you knew. I lived in that house too, I replied. I wasn't blind. He inhaled sharply. She swears it's a lab error. Then redo it. Another silence. They want me to sign a statement saying I still accept the baby. Ah, there it is, the money move. His father owned half the properties under his name, and the other half were conditional, on legitimate heirs. That baby was supposed to secure everything. Now, it threatened everything. 3 days later, the second DNA test confirmed it. 0%. Not his. But it didn't stop there, because the private investigator his father hired didn't just stop at paternity. He dug into timelines, phone records, security footage, and guess whose car was parked outside my old house repeatedly while I was at work? Liam's. The confrontation happened at his father's house. I wasn't invited, but I heard about it, because secrets don't survive rich families. Apparently, my sister denied everything, until they showed her timestamps, until they showed her messages, until Liam's face cracked, and then she did what she does best. She cried. She said she was confused. She said she felt unloved. She said she thought Liam was just comforting her. Comforting, that word is more dangerous than cheating. But here's the twist. She didn't beg my ex-husband to stay. She begged his father, because she knew who really mattered, and for a moment, it almost worked. Until his father asked one question. Who else knows? And that's when my name came up. My phone rang that night. A number I didn't recognize. Deep voice. Measured tone. This is Mr. Carter, my ex-husband's father. I'd like to speak with you. And that is where everything changed. Because when powerful men realize you were right all along, they don't apologize. They make offers. The call from Mr. Carter wasn't threatening. It was measured. Precise. I'd like to meet you, he said. Alone. Alone, I thought. That's where deals are made. Where secrets get tested. Where truths hurt the most. I agreed. I walked into his office the next morning, the city humming below us. The walls were lined with portraits of family members long gone, their eyes heavy, as if judging. Sit, he said. His gaze wasn't angry. It was calculating. Miss Ava, you were right, he began. The child is not my grandson, and your ex, he's blind to what's been happening under his nose. I leaned back. Silence. Let him continue. You've seen patterns, you noticed timing, receipts, visits, behaviors. You understood the betrayal before anyone else did. That is rare. Rare? I thought. That's one way to put it. Then he paused and smiled. Not warm, strategic. I'm offering you a deal. My stomach dropped. A deal. Your ex and your sister think they control everything, he continued. They think my assets and properties are tied to bloodlines they cannot claim. They're wrong. The child will inherit nothing from me. I blinked. Nothing? You understand what this means? He asked. The house, the business, the estates, protected, for someone I trust, and I trust you. I sat frozen. I could feel it, the power shift. My ex-husband had married my sister, thinking he was untouchable. They both thought I was powerless. And now, I held leverage that could collapse both their worlds. Later that day, I confronted my sister. She didn't expect me. Her eyes widened like a deer caught in headlights. Ava, I cut her off. Don't. Just don't. You have no proof, Ava. I smiled. Calm. Cold. I don't need proof for what's already done. You think your baby secures everything? It secures nothing. And I've spoken with the only person who could enforce it. Her lips trembled. You can't. I just did, I said. The silence that followed was delicious, because for the first time she understood. I was untouchable. Then came Ethan. He called me begging. Please, Ava, tell me this isn't true. Tell me it was a mistake. I remembered every moment. The laughs, the late-night messages, the hotel stays, the subtle glances I'd noticed. No mistake, I said. I didn't need to elaborate. The truth itself was enough. His exasperated silence confirmed he knew he had lost. The final confrontation happened at the family estate. My sister tried to manipulate the scene, crying, claiming ignorance. Liam just comforted me. Comforted. I had a list of messages, receipts, timelines, and her own words confirming the betrayal, but I didn't show them. Because sometimes power is in restraint. Mr. Carter watched quietly, letting the humiliation land. Ethan tried to step in. "You can't do this," I smiled. "I just did." The shockwave didn't stop there. Word spread, social circles whispered, mutual friends confronted them. Liam vanished, job unknown. My sister's reputation collapsed, and my ex-husband, he became a cautionary tale. Meanwhile, I walked away with dignity intact. My observations vindicated, and the knowledge that the child, innocent, unaware, was the only person untarnished by this chaos. Some betrayals are quiet, some are explosive. Mine? It started with a laugh. It ended with a truth that no one could ignore. And in the middle, I realized one thing. Sometimes surviving betrayal isn't about revenge. It's about noticing, observing, acting when everyone else is blind. I walked away, untouched, powerful. And for the first time in months, free